What's going on? It is Fire with Dad.
Fire
Dad.
Dad, baby.
So, Dad, we missed last Thursday because I think we were both around this time comatose from an overload of turkey.
And mashed potatoes and dressing and cranberries, pumpkin pie. Only thing we didn't
So,
have any eggnog. I'm sorry, I should have had eggnog.
I thought eggnog was a Christmas thing.
Oh, okay. I'm right. Okay, you're right.
Okay. So, let's talk about the holidays. Holidays traditionally, and depends on where you're located at because people can be watching this from anywhere, but holidays traditionally are a time for family gatherings, a time for networking events, things of that nature. How do you plan to navigate 2020 holiday season? Because I'm guessing a lot of your traditional business events you went to aren't happening.
Well, they're not happening the way they're supposed to happen. Let me put it that way. Most of them now are going to be on Zoom. So I got one tomorrow for Zoom, and I got another one next two of them next week on Zoom, and then actually our networking group's going to try and figure out some way to have a lunch up there at Spring House up there in Mason, and then I got my annual meeting with my buddies, and I'm sure that's going to happen on Friday, one of the Fridays, and then there'll be a lot of Zoom. There should be a lot of Zoom things. That's the key. You just you still do networking, you just don't do it the same way. You just adapt.
What about Christmas gifts? Are people like me gonna fail or not get a bunch of baskets of chocolate this year?
Well, we could probably get you a basket of chocolate.
No, I don't need it. I'm good. So what else from a business standpoint? What's going on out there that's different, that's new in your world?
Well, what's different is basically think people got to, they got to start learning to adapt. They got to start learning to get out of the box, fix new ideas. For instance, on one of my coaching calls on Tuesday, we decided that rather than give the traditional gifts that you normally would do, we're going to do something different so people can remember who you are. Do something that kind of makes you stand out. One of the gifts was give you an example. One of my clients, I got a gift last year, and I gave him the idea to do it this year. Was I got a pen last year that was made from one of the Wrigley Field seats, and then I found out that he had gotten a gift from somebody. It was made out of the Cincinnati Crosley Field seats. So I talked to him and said, "Hey, why don't you make a pen out of the Crosley Field seats and give those away to your clients this year? That way, every time they use that pen, they're thinking about you." And every time I think about you, you're not top of mind. You might get some nice referrals out of it, but do something different that people aren't normally doing, and make yourself stand out. Because the problem you have at Christmas is, like I tell people, you're getting 40 million cards. So if I send you a card, do I stand out? No,
Yeah.
I actually get lost in the shuffle.
Where we had, it's a little late right now, obviously it's late for this, but where we had our best success back in the boat dealership, we did Thanksgiving Day cards to customers. We had a company called Fuss, and they had a cool system. And I don't know if they're still around or not, but it was called Follow Up Sales Systems. And they were mainly for the power sports industry, boat, RV, ATV. And whenever somebody bought a unit from us, we would enroll them, and they would get a series of letters from the owner, from the general manager, from service, and then they would get enrolled in the annual mailings. And one mailing we did every year, which got a lot of attention, was Thanksgiving, because number one, nobody else did Thanksgiving cards. And number two, we always put a call to action in there to tie back to some holiday shopping. And so we got in their hands before Black Friday for the holiday season. But I think a lot of companies tend to overuse the traditional holidays.
Well, they overuse it because of the fact that the whole idea of sending people stuff and doing things like that is so you stand out, so that you get yourself unique, so you remember who you are, so you're top of mind. Create that visibility. Well, if you're creating visibility when everybody else is creating visibility, you get lost in the shuffle. And when I had my insurance business, I used to send cards out at Thanksgiving, like you said. I'd send them out at Derby Day. I'd send them out at Easter. I'd send them out crazy days. And ironically enough, and here's what would happen. I can remember one day I sent a guy on Derby Day. I'll never forget this. Sent him a card. All of a sudden, I get a phone call about 3 days later. And the guy calls me and says, "Hey, can you give me a price on some insurance?" I said, "Sure. Why?" He said, "Well, is it that my so and so works at my office, and he got a card from you on Derby Day, and he walks into the office on Monday morning and says, "Hey, you're never going to believe this. I got a card on Derby Day." The guy says, "Well, you kidding me? Who from?" He says, "My insurance guy." He says, "Well, I've never heard from my insurance guy ever." He says, "Well, here's his name and call him." I ended up writing a policy off the thing. Why? Because I'm standing out. I'm doing something nobody else does.
And there's a lot of opportunities there. I mean, you've got Derby Day, you've got, Thanksgiving, you have Valentine's. I think Valentine's is a holiday, I guess it's a holiday, Hallmark holiday, I think is what it's considered, but it's a day that people celebrate. They know about that, you could send something to your clients. Hey, just so you know, I love you. I want you to be my Valentine. It could be funny, it could be quirky. It would get you mentioned and maybe a little awareness.
Well, the whole idea is to be top of mind. It creates visibility, and you don't create visibility when you're in the crowd with all the other sheep or all the other cows. Okay. It doesn't create any visibility. And it's like myself. I told a guy on Tuesday, I said, one of my other clients, I says, the problem with sending Christmas cards right now is that if you send me a Christmas card, I got about two chances of seeing it because they're all posted. My wife gets the mail. She posts them they post all the Christmas cards on a door. Okay. Yep. And then she'll say, "Hey, by the way, so-and-so sent you a card." Okay.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
Another topic too, Dad, which this might not relate as much to you, but for people that follow me that are in the media world, and even actually, honestly, for restaurants, for I guess any business, maybe it does relate to everybody. I call it selling between the sell, in that a lot of us in business, customers have buying cycles. When I sold radio advertising, the buying cycle was traditionally people bought their advertising in December and January, and then June and July. And what would happen is if a lot of radio reps didn't get included in that January purchase, they went away until July. And then they came back in July and it's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm here again. I haven't done shit the last 6 months to make an impact on you, no relationship, but I'm going to try and swing the bat again." And they struck out. Well, I think a lot of businesses do that. So salespeople, you got to sell between the sell, meaning that if the buying cycle is January to July, hang out in between there. A Valentine's gift card, drop off opening day in Cincinnati. Reds baseball is a big thing. Get some Reds cookies from Buskin Bakery and drop those off at 20 clients and make touch points, make connections. But also even like I deal with restaurants. Restaurants have that same thing. A lot of them do catering. Well, the only time they call people for catering is when they want to sell them catering. Why don't you call them for a different reason? Why don't you stop by for a different reason? Remember Clancy from Famous Days would drop off corn muffins all the time. He wasn't there to sell us catering technically. That was the goal of it. But he was there to shake my hand, kiss babies, talk to you, and give me free corn muffins. Inadvertently, we bought freaking catering the next day.
Well, remember our banker used to come by and buy lunch for everybody in the place on Fridays about once every couple of months. Yep. And then at the boat show, one of the days he'd always come by and bring everybody.
Dave Yeager?
I think his name was Joe something.
Oh, it was Dave Yeager from First Financial.
Okay, yeah, it was. Okay, yeah. And what kind of those, now you're creating that know, like, and trust. You're creating that relationship. You're not just always there selling all the time. And that's probably what hurts a lot of small business people when they're out selling, is they're only selling when it's advantageous to them, okay, rather than out there just creating that relationship. You don't always got to be selling.
Yep. Well, cool. Great session. Good to be back. We might be on next Thursday, maybe not. I'll be in Miami next week for business. So we'll try to do Fire with Dad next week. Maybe we'll do it on a different time. Maybe I'll go to the beach and we find a way to do it on the beach.
All right, yeah.
Cool.
I'll get sunburned watching you.
Cool. See you, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.